Hello everyone, my name is Lucifer and welcome to Altalite. This is a fantasy visual novel game where a magic user gets caught stealing and is taught a lesson or something like that. The art looked incredibly cute and I'm missing D&D. I crave the D&D. I crave it so much. My soul burns with the yearning of D&D. I need it. I want it. I must consume it. So I wanted to play Altalite, which is very cute and fantasy, and yay! The jagged inner shape of the valley begins to take form as Fern reaches the peak of the hill. Last year's trip to the small mining town had fared far better. In the 2 days of travel, he hadn't come across a single other person. Unkept grass, missing guards, and the complete lack of pop-up shops along the road. The whole place felt lifeless. Damn those pop-up shops, they gotta be more along the road. Given the circumstances, this was not unexpected, but Fern's feeling of disappointment persisted. He descends along the main road, passing stone houses and shops, seeing several despondent faces as he walks. This place was by no means a ghost town. People still went about their day, but it lacked the life it once had. This certainly is cheery. Looks like it spread to the more remote corners of the area. Business had been affected since last year's visit. Some of the stores that were struggling were now completely boarded up. Reaching an apothecary, Fern is greeted by a closed sign, no hints of when that might change. Peeking through the window shows nothing but bare hardwood floors and dust. He tries a second location. Similar deal. This one at least had furniture in it. Right for the pickin', time to steal him out! After pacing around for a while, he admits defeat. Well, that's disappointing. Would the mine be worth checking? I doubt they let the public walk in there freely. He stands there for a moment, oh wow, Fern is actually the thief. Okay, I was joking about it. I didn't want it to actually be true. Contemplating how to avoid the entire trip being in vain. Try archery, maybe. The scenery was nice, but his supplies were running low. He couldn't afford returning with nothing to show for it. It's a stretch, but... He glances around, making sure to avoid view of any individuals passing by. Surely there'll be something in the back. He slithers around the side of the building and back into the back alley, searching for any kind of discarded stock. He finds a promising stack of boxes at the rear. I'd have preferred fresh material to work with, but dried is better than nothing. He rifles through but finds little. I read that as latte. I should not have read that as latte. I clearly need to play Coffee Talk 2, which I've been delaying for so long. I'll be showing it on Twitch at some point. There, yeah. Vile pieces lay broken at the bottom, along with scraps of paper and hunks of wood. Any remaining trace of herbs or perishable items are beyond usability. Dejected, he exits the heap, turning back into the alley. I'll try asking around tomorrow. Hopefully I can find a place to stay. As he returns to the main street, he hears a pair of footsteps approaching his position. Fern begins to turn, ready to explain he hadn't taken anything. But before he's able to, he feels something hit on the back of his head hard. He stumbles to the ground, his vision turning black. Oh, well, oopsie poopsie, I've been captured, or Fern's been captured. We're all captured in the subscribe button, which you need to capture right now. Fern wakes up on an unfamiliar floor. I can read. The room is cold and damp, a musty smell lingers in the air. The storage room, though difficult to judge the exact size from his current angle. This is new. Fern's first attempts to move are hampered by the rope around his torso. His vision is hazy, the back of his head aches at the slightest movement. With some effort, the pain begins to vanish as a soft glow permeates underneath his clothes. He considers his options, opting to take things slow and taking proper note of his surroundings. The item on the cluttered shelves give few clues. A pile of bound books, scraps of cloth, and a few candles. A stack of cups nestled in one of the corner shelves. Common items you'd see just about anywhere. Too quiet to be a tavern. Maybe an inn? I guess it depends on the time of day and how long I was out for. First time something like this has happened. Maybe this could be what makes the trip worthwhile. Let's see where this leads. Hopefully somewhere interesting. He leans against the box, making a small noise as he makes contact with the wood. Wait, is the model actually... the model actually goes through all the way there. That is cool. Something on the other side of the room stirs. Hey mage, you awake yet? Eska. Ah, you must be the one responsible for this double knot I'm having trouble with. In front of him stands an elf boy with a sour expression. Fern barely lifts an eyebrow at the sight of his captor, prompting the boy to kick the shelf next to him in an attempt at intimidation. It doesn't work. Cure my sister. Excuse me? You heard me. I know a mage when I see one. Do you? You can do magic, right? My sister is sick and I want you to do something about that. We've been trying to get in contact with the Magic Guild Users Guild for months. The rot's getting so bad it's stopping Sienna from sleeping and... Oh, well... Oh, I'm not someone who can do healing magic, sorry. Oopsie poopsie, I be dumby wumby. In healing magic at least. So if you kindly drop me back off where you pick me up, I'd appreciate... Wait, no, healing at all? Isn't that what you people do? Is kidnapping all that you do? I guess I'm just ignorant on that subject. Care to enlighten me with an example, or get in contact with one of your guild buddies? No can do, sorry. Even if I could do something, I can't do it with my hands behind my back. Not that I feel like offering my services to someone with this little sense of hospitality. If I could read, which I probably can't. I promise I can't. Untie me, maybe then we can talk. The boy's attention diverts from Fern as a door at the top of the stone stairs creak open. Eska, are you down there? Fern watches her, noticing a slight limp in her walk. Oh damn, a lot happening here right now. Wait, why is Fern behind the thing? I thought this was the UI for the thing. Why are these two in front? I don't know. Well, it still looks cool. Ah, so that's what all the noise was. Am I interrupting something? We're making a boy band called Fern and Eska for Eska. Did I wake you up? Sorry. It's okay, I wasn't asleep. Eska turns back to Fern. If you can't do anything, there's no point continuing this conversation. Aw, don't want to hear me out at all? Maybe it could be useful. If you can't heal, I don't care. I'll just take what's on you as compensation for wasting my time. Eska gestures to the girl, who begins rifling through Fern's pockets. Okay, excuse you. This is very rude. Well, it's not like I can stop you. Sure, take whatever you like. You're pretty cooperative for someone getting robbed. I just don't think it's worth the hassle. You have a lot of weird stuff in here. Cooking equipment, paintbrushes, empty jars. Are you an artist or something? I'll have to consider myself one, if I'm being generous. Roguing is an art form, you know. It's not really thieving, it's just an art form. We can't sell those. I'm just gonna take the money and the jewelry. I mean, you can sell anything if you're smart enough or businessy enough. This necklace is pretty. Sure, help yourself. Oh, but let me keep the notebook. I doubt anyone to buy that. Sure, just looks like a bunch of scribbles to me. If this is your attempt at drawing, it kind of sucks. I'm surprised. No resistance at all. Not even a little bit of struggle. Are you after a fight? It's not like I can. It's not like I can begrudge you. I've done far worse. Well, now nice to know I'm not robbing a saint. Something tells me that in your eyes, being a magic user disqualifies me from that category. Am I correct? We're welcome to be the first to change my mind. No chance of you learning healing magic real quick for me? I'll even think about giving you your stuff back. Sorry, I just don't have the knack for it. I think that's about everything. Thanks. Take it upstairs, will you? I'm just about finished talking down here. Sure thing. We're done, are we? Mind untying me then, and I'll see myself out. The boy takes a swift kick at one of the shelves before dragging his heels over to untie Fern. Oh wow, that actually worked out pretty well. Look, I want to see Fern. What are these? Are they scars or are they like handwear? Ooh, it's on this hand as well. Okay, so it's probably like a mage thing. Very cool. This is very cool art. I love this art. I'm not yawning. Shut the fuck up. What's this? You're just like letting me go? You almost sound insulted. This town has weird ideas about kidnapping. You know, dragging me around into the middle of nowhere with a blindfold on to keep your base a secret. Is that what you want? As long as you're not too rough, I don't mind. Look, I just don't want to think letting your victims know where you operate from is a smart move if you want to keep doing this thing for the long term. I promise I can talk and speak, okay? What happens if I tattle? I'm not worried. Good luck finding someone who'll care. I would refrain from messing with magic users in the future, though. I'm rather lenient compared to my peers. Stop wasting my time. Get out. Fine, fine. Don't think about trying any funny business on the way out. I like to do stocks. Okay? Sue me. Actually, don't sue me. I don't have a lot of money. I wouldn't dream of it. Well, I'll see you around, I suppose. I'd really prefer if we didn't. Well, we're back at church, I think. The basement door opens up into a wide space with stained glass windows. Oh, we are in a church. Okay. A church? Wasn't expecting that. Oh well, won't ruin my day. The boy's sister waves from across the pew she's perched in. Oh, bro let you go. I already hid what I didn't hand Eska. Sorry, I'm not giving anything back. Times are tough right now, I understand. This is probably the most hospitable pair of thieves have ever been towards me. Not the first time you've been robbed. It might have happened once or twice before. Is it a vibe I'm giving off? The coat looks pretty nice, though I think it might have more to do with those marks on your hands. Those look like they cost a bit to have done, especially with the rules surrounding that kind of magic now. You ever thought about investing in a pair of gloves? Well, I won't tell if you won't. So it's magic tattoos, okay. There's no one here to tell. Same way there's no doctors around. You can go now. I already told you, we're not giving your stuff back, so there's no point in trying to talk to me. I know, that's not why I'm bothering you. Fern pulls out a map and a piece of paper from his back pocket, one of the few items he still has on him. I don't suppose you could tell me from which direction your brother dragged me in from? And if there's any place to get anything on this list. She points to a hill north of where he last was. What kind of weirdo list is this? I guess you could try around there, but it's a stretch. Thanks for the help, and good luck! Tell your brother to watch his temper for me, will you? See you around! Well, he's out of here. Packing the rope away and rifling through the items his sister collected, Eska couldn't help but be confused as to how that exchange played out. It's a bomb, probably! What the hell was that guy's deal? He sorts out with what might be sold, but most of it looks like eccentric junk. This is about it. I guess it'll have to do. He gives up and heads upstairs. Oh, well, you don't want to leave the thing that the mage gave you for that. That's very bad. It could be a magical bomb or something, you know? It could be the doom of all dooming. Something like that. I don't know what I'm talking about. I should probably not talk about anything. I am dumb. So, yeah. Hey, Sienna. I think I can sell some of what the guy has laid on. So while Sienna. Glancing around the main room, he doesn't see his sister. He checks the small side room, and still nothing. Concerned, he walks up and down the aisles, hoping to spot her. Hey, sis? Oh no. Sienna, are you okay? Collapsed on the floor lay Eska's sister, breathing but unmoving. He shakes her shoulders, but nothing he tries succeeds in waking her up. A few days later... Oh. Fern wakes up to the same place, only darker. No gentle come to, this time instead of being shaken awake by the same boy as before. I've been looking everywhere for you. Oh, this is my first time having a fan. I'm sorry, I'm a little underprepared. My sister, what do you do to her? Huh? I didn't do anything. I checked into the inn over on the other side of town and have been looking around for supplies ever since. I was planning on leaving today, if you hadn't rudely intervened. Sienna's been unconscious since you've left. Is that all? Doesn't she have trouble sleeping? Sounds like a solution to me. Oh god damn, sick burn, bruh. I love the charisma. I love the real personalities. Not real, but I love the personalities here. You know. As Eska flicks a small pocket knife and holds it to Fern's chin. Ooh, you're upset, huh? Fix my sister, or I'll see if ending your life undoes whatever curse you put on her. You're very demanding, you know. Have you tried a nicer approach? There's a glow from underneath Fern's clothes. The bindings surrounding him undo themselves, and he stands up, ignoring Eska's threat. Oh, he moves fast, grabbing Eska's wrist and yanking the blade out of it. He tucks the knife into his back pocket. That's better. As you were saying? Fern is so cool. Fern is so cool. It also reminds me of Frieren, but, you know, more human. I mean, yeah, you don't have elf here, so yeah, I guess. I won't presume races. No presuming that. Eska takes a second to process what just happened. Nice trick. I don't care how strong you are. Undo whatever curse you put on my sister or else. Can I have my things back? No. Really? Why not? Already sold a lot of it. And the money you made? Spent. Don't look at me like that. It all went on food and medicine. Well, that's unfortunate. You have a debt to pay back before I even consider helping. You don't look too pleased about that, but it's your choice. It seems your sister will remain in the state she is until I decide to help her. Unless you can figure out something yourself. Well, the power dynamics have shifted. The power dynamics shifted a little bit, has it? Just a little bit, just a tiny weensy little bit. You know, just a little, just to make him your subordinate and your underling, you know? Don't worry, I'm not unreasonable. I do have conditions for helping, though. I need a roof over my head. Is this church yours? I'd assume not, based on what I know of your current financial predicament, but it sure does look roomy. I prefer to keep a low profile too, so no mentioning to anyone I'm here. I'll feed myself, don't worry about that. Wait, how are you going to feed yourself? Your sister didn't take all my money. I'm no spring chicken when it comes to travel. I'm surprised. You don't look like the kind of person who'd be that careful. Nothing wrong with people underestimating you. That's why I have enough to eat. Anyways, I'm assuming those conditions work for you. I don't know about you sticking around. Think of it this way. If I'm nearby, I can monitor your sister's condition. She better be okay. I swear you have my word. Not that you care about that, I'm sure. But I have nothing against her. After all, she's not the one responsible for my near concussion. Twice now, too. But it's nice to see she has a good brother. Good big bro, at least. Good big bro there. Taking better note of the environment around him, Fern sees Eska has moved his sister to a bed. Judging by the light outside, it was now later than he would have liked. Very late. So late. Big late. So bigly lately. Well, I'm going to bed. That was a plan, making my way back to the inn if you hadn't gotten in the way of that. In the way of that? That's bad. If I'm sticking around, tomorrow we can head out and collect the supplies I couldn't get a hold of. Where am I sleeping? Where's the comfiest? We only have 2 beds. Oh, that's a shame. Where are you sleeping then? The pew upstairs? No way am I leaving a stranger alone in a room with my unconscious sister. I guess that hadn't crossed my mind. I'm not interested in her, if that helps, for several reasons. I'm sure that does little to persuade. I won't try anything, however. I'm guessing moving her upstairs is out of the question. Eska's silence confirms that guess. What a cold glare. If you expect me to sleep on hard pews, you're a pretty cruel host. Eska moves across the room to gather the blankets from the spare bed. He tosses the single flat pillow at Fern, who catches it with both hands. Pews for the both of us, then. You're lucky it's not that cold. I'm not sharing a bed with someone I don't trust. Fern shrugs. Have it your way. Before heading upstairs, Eska checks on his sister, pulling up the blankets up over her body. Sorry, sis. I'll get this fixed quick, I promise. The two of them leave Sienna and set up their bed along one of the back pews, taking opposite sides. The wood is hard, and only so wide. Moonlight streams through the murky stained glass. Eska was correct. Despite the thin blankets, it's not too cold. You can keep my pillow. My bag's worked as a headrest plenty of times before. He takes the pillow and props it up against the pew's armrest. So yourself, I won't say no to more back support. So what was that glowing that happened earlier? I am not yawning. Shut the frick up. You want me to give you away all my secrets? Just curious. Something like that seems useful. How do you do it? Is there a limit to it? I don't think it's a good idea to tell you if you have any weaknesses while relationships. If I have any weaknesses while a relationship's so strained, right? What do you want from me? I just think it's cool. Well, maybe if you butter me up some more, I might share a bit more about it, but not before. Fern fires back with a question of his own. So why is a pair of thieves living in the basement of a church? I figured it'd be an interesting bedtime story. It's not anything exciting. The guy who owns the building is a family friend. You already know our financial situation. Fill in the rest yourself. You don't strike me as the devoted type. We're just looking after the building until he returns. He's training up to deal with the mage's rot, so the place is empty in the meantime. And when he comes back, what are your plans after that? The question elicits a contortion of Eska's face. He takes a second to calm himself. Haven't worked that part out yet. The conversation stops dead in its tracks. I'd rather talk about anything else. Or sleep, if you're sated. Well, maybe for now, it seems I've hit a bit of a sore spot. Hard wood isn't a comfortable surface to sleep on. It takes a while for Fern to drift off. I do know that. I slept on hard wood at my place. It's something. The next morning, Eska's vanished from the shared pew. Huh? Where's my host? Where is he? He's on a mission to deliver thee into the unknown. He finds Eska back downstairs, feeding a thin soup to Sienna. Look at you taking care of her. What a good big brother. She's my sister. What am I gonna do? Let her starve? Yes, she's fine. You don't need to worry. Someone's clearly an only child. Well, you got me there. Still, this isn't necessary. Not that you're gonna take my word for it. Moving on. First order of business. I need Altalite. What? Really? Yes, it's a component in the magic I do. It's mined around here, correct? The apothecaries in the area, from what I could find, are all closed down. Source some Altalites for me. I'm sure a local has a better chance of succeeding than I do. You're talking about the clear crystal stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, that's correct. How much are you after? Fern pulls out a jar from his bag. However much will fit in here. It more depends on how much it costs. I want as much as I can afford. You're in luck. I know the place it sorts from. Hand me your budget for it. Fern does as he is asked, the money along with the jar. Eska slips it in his pocket and gestures for Fern to follow. We're out on an adventure into the unknown. The walk from the church is a quiet one. It's so grim since I last came here. You've been here before? I don't remember seeing you around. Well, this is my first visit coming across you as well. I make a trip at least once a year. It's surprising how quickly everything's gone downhill. So many shops closed now. It's been rough. Lots of people sick. Sienna's one of them. Well, it's not much better elsewhere. The whole world's kind of like this. Being so remote might be a blessing. It was weird to see a traveler here. You stuck out so much. Too happy. Definitely someone who can use magic to solve their problems. It's not that straightforward. It's a lot of work. Actually, using a magic puts a person at a greater risk of contracting magic rot. So, you're an idiot. I prefer the term lucky. As long as you know what you're doing, you can avoid most of the downsides. Sounds nice. Meanwhile, us regular people are suffering. You do better to learn magic instead of complaining, you know. If you think it can solve all your problems. I'd love it if magic could solve my supply of woes. It can't even do that. Well, aren't you lucky I'm around? That way you can have your non-magical problems solved for you. You do better getting to know the people of the town instead of complaining too. Well, he has you there. You can't. You dumb. They pass through the entirety of the residential and commercial districts and into the industrial section, far away from the main road. Down through the cobbled streets, crossing the river onto the other side of the valley. The sound of mining equipment grows louder and louder as they approach. They reach a mine, embedded into the other side of the valley. It's embedded into basically houses. My god, it's so cramped in here. Normally mines are huge at the entrance and empty, you know? Like my empty heart. A tunnel leads them through and into a half-open airspace with tall walls. Eska waltzes in, waving at people as he goes, Fern scurrying in behind them. Eska stopped at a large storage building guarded by two men sitting bored beside the entrance. One of them, a tall man with bushy eyebrows, untips the chair he was leaning against and stands up to greet them. Hi, what can I do? Eska, is that you? I haven't seen you in ages. Have you figured out a treatment yet? Slowly, yeah. Treatment? I'll talk about it later. Good, something must be going right if you're showing your face back here. I'm not here for work, sorry. I need into the storage room. The atmosphere quickly changes as the focus shifts to Fern. Oh, and who's the friend? No one special, just someone who owes someone I owe a favor. I need in to get some Altalite. He holds up Fern's jar. About this much? Do you think anyone will notice? I don't know. Eska slips the small pouch of coins over into the man's hands. The other man, still resting in his chair, perks up after seeing the exchange. Just the crystal, right? Should be fine. Just don't take too long. Without another word, Eska dips into the building, leaving Fern to stand outside next to the two men. He tries not to make too much eye contact. Their gaze doesn't leave him. Eska returns a moment later, jar too full for the lid to close. Is this good enough? Fern inspects the crystals, picking up some of the larger chunks from the top of the jar, holding them up to the morning sun. Not bad at all. This will do just fine, thank you. They leave the site, Eska waving to the two men on the way out. The few coins remaining in Eska's palm jingle as they slip into his pocket. I heard that. What, was that not jar not worth your budget? You'd have gotten a quarter of that at the apothecary, tops. I guess a finder's fee's in order. I'll let you keep it. Damn right you will. Me sticking my neck out for you. You were sticking that jar out for me, and it was my jar. You stuck out nothing for me, Eska. You're not friends with me. Fern takes a closer look at the jar's overflowing contents. In it containing pieces of white, semi-translucent crystal, sizes varying from palm-sized chunks to grains that could be mistaken for sugar. I'm impressed. This is pretty nice stuff, considering how little it's been refined. Very few impurities. I don't know if I'd get this level of quality at the apothecary. I figured you'd want the stuff we ship off to the Mage Guild branch around here. Fern fails at suppressing a giggle. Oh, so we're stealing from the guild? Even better. So you don't like the guild or something? Do you? I feel like you'd have more of a reason to be unhappy with him than I do. Look at the state of everything. It's now even interfering with my work. I've never talked with a mage before. For all I know, you're all guild fanatics. Mm-hmm. Oh right. Maybe now's a good time to mention. I'm actually not part of the guild. What's that supposed to mean? I thought all magic users were. Well, I guess you could call me an independent contractor. So you're an outlaw. I'm not dumb. I know I know you all need a license to do anything right now. I didn't think you'd be familiar with the guild's code of conduct. The guy who owns the church mentioned it to us when he started looking into becoming a healer. The guild's not the biggest fan of my work, let's put it that way. Why? You doing something questionable with all the stuff you were gathering? Like putting more people into a coma, for example? Well, clearly they have a problem with it. Now that you need to get bogged down in the specifics, you're helping me either way, right? Yippee-ki-yay! You're lucky the guild hasn't sent help this way. I'd sell you out in a heartbeat if it was worth the effort. Aw, am I not growing on you? Like mages rot. Tell you what, help me cross everything off my little shopping list and maybe I'll elaborate, if you're interested. I don't need any more trouble in my life, thank you very much. Oh well, the offer is there if you change your mind. They make their way down back into the town. So what's the next item on your little shopping list? I need pan berries, native to the region, right? Any idea where I can get a ton of those? Preferably cheap. What kind of list is this? This stuff's easy. Next you're gonna tell me you need help finding water. What's that gonna do with your magic stuff? Don't you guys just do magic chants over the top of the crystals? We've been over this. I don't do healing magic. And you can't learn? If you gave me several months of research minimum, assuming I had the drive to do it, I could become motivated with enough financial incentive, but I'm guessing you can't afford that. It's not about me. A lot of people would pay to have another healer around. When's the church owner coming back? Surely he can take care of things. Not for a while. And definitely too late. Ah, I see. At least it now makes sense why you don't have any contacts. I just thought you were being an asshole about it. You really don't talk with any other mages? Do I get cool points with you if I list off all the rules I've broken? I figured you at least could explain why you're useless. How bad is it? Well, if you must know, the guild breakup was messy. They didn't have an issue with my work before the outbreak, but afterwards is a different story. It's not an easy thing being asked to give up your life's work. Oh, so real serious, huh? Was it full excommunication? Did you go into hiding? About that, I still might technically be on the run. Might still be? Hard to judge when you do a good job of avoiding them. So unfortunately, I don't know if they found it in their hearts to get over themselves. It pays to keep moving, I guess. I would like to settle down permanently though. Moving every 6 months or so is a real hassle. Great, so not only am I dealing with an outlaw, but I wanted one too. So the kidnapper and thief don't act so high and mighty. That's petty stuff compared to what you're getting up to. I'm starting to wonder if helping you out is the right decision. Maybe I should point you in the direction of the nearest market and go back home. Are you not enjoying showing me around? I'll apologize if that means I can keep my helpful tour guide. You know, despite what the guild will make it seem, magic isn't a talent only those born with it can use. They don't have the monopoly they act like they have. You could pick it up with the correct motivation. You're delusional if you think I can pick up healing magic no problem right now. It's not even about the effort required, access to resources, the luxury of time, and more importantly, I'm not doing any novice magic around my sister. Still. Let's just get through the stupid list, okay? I want to go home. I want to go home. If you insist. So, where's the secret berry stash? Surely you can use these coins in your pocket to bribe whoever's in charge. No need. They're wild here. Yes, I know that much, but where are the best ones? You're about a month too late for the best ones. I always come this time of year. Then congrats on always being a month out of season. Most are too ripe to have any kind of firmness to them. Once they go dark, the flavor gets kind of weird. I'm not eating them, I need them dark. Really? Well, that changes things. Follow me, I think I have an idea on where to look. To the market! Let's go! And you are gonna market that subscribe button because you're an awesome viewer. That made no sense. Thank you for subscribing. They exit the town and head out into the surrounding hills that slope up and out of the ravine. It's a hike, but before long they're surrounded by stretches of green meadow. You'd want the ones that have that got the most sun, right? That's what makes them dark. Isn't the bigger factor how close it is to the source of Altalite? Yeah, but it's got to be undisturbed. The further away from where we're mining, the better. Eventually, they arrive at an area covered in panberry bushes. Fern's eyes light up. Ah, perfect! Yeah, this is the color I was after. Esko starts picking up the branches, inspecting each berry. Is it just the fruit you use? The roots are pretty dark too, you know. They are? We had to uproot a ton when we expanded operations about 6 months ago, so I got familiar with it. I'm pretty sure the roots are used in dyeing clothes too. Eska grabs one of the bush's long branches and inspects the berries attached. The roots are about this dark for sure, maybe even darker. Would they be usable? Well, we'd have to kill the plant, but I don't mind giving it a go. These things grow back like nobody's business, trust me. They can be kind of tough to get out by hand though. Fern digs into his back pocket, pulling out Eska's knife. Good thing I have this with me. Can I have that back, by the way? It's my only one. As long as you lug all of this plant matter back with us. Yeehaw! The time for barter is here. You mentioned a market earlier. Is that the best place to get something to eat when it's open? There's one that runs late across town. Great! What are we eating? I barely have enough to cover me and my sister. Didn't you say you were gonna feed yourself? You can go get something alone. I don't want to be around food I can't afford. What do you take me for? Some kind of monster? I'm not answering that. Well, was it going? I was gonna share. You've been gracious enough with me, with showing me around. I'll try and do something to return the hospitality. Oh, well in that case, I have some recommendations. That's more like it. To the town again. They make their way down into the town to find the market Eska had mentioned. It's a small collection of stalls, the same gloomy atmosphere as the rest of the town, permeating throughout. Eska doesn't seem concerned with the state of things and is already listing off places to visit. There's a produce stall around here that's really good. I know where the best deals are, so don't go off wandering on your own. If they don't recognize your face, they'll charge at least double. Well, sheesh. Man, the prices here are damn, they're unaffordable. He drags Fern by the sleeve, who barely gets a chance to look at any one stall in particular. They stop in front of a vendor selling a range of baked goods. Here, the best bread in town. Buy something from here.
Iska, you little charmer. I haven't seen you in a while.
It has been a while. How's the arm?
It's been so-so. You know how it is. I hope your sister's faring a little better than it's been with me.
She's doing okay. Still walking, so I'm happy.
And you?
About the same as before.
Who's a friend? Or are you just dragging in new customers for me?
There's a visitor from out of town. Eska's been showing me around all day. He's doing a great job of being my little tour guide. We're just sorting out dinner. He's paying. I'll take his recommendation for food too, so I'll get whatever is your most popular item, please.
That'll just be the standard loaf. I appreciate it. Let me throw in another small one for your sister, Eska.
Oh, thanks.
Make sure to come around a little more if you're able to. We're missing you about.
I'll see what I can do. As Fern takes the wrapped loaves from the lady, he can't help but notice the slight wince. In the moment he's handed the bag, Fern gets a closer look at the lady's arm. Fern had seen it many times before. The discoloration associated with magic rot was entirely up her arm, starting at her fingers and going all the way past her sleeve.
Take care!
You too! It's not contagious through touch, before you say anything.
I know that.
They visit several other stalls, picking up a couple of other items before heading back. That was more than I intended to spend. They returned back with a large range of local fruits, vegetables, and even a hunk of cheese.
A delicacy! A specialty! Yummy, yum, yum, yum!
The last few rays of sunlight hang in the sky as they make their way back up the hill the church is perched on. Eska rushes down into the basement to once again check on his sister, who remains in the same state she was left in. He comes back up moments later, satisfied that she's okay. Eska heads into the small back room, Fern behind him, offloading the items they bought onto a rickety table. He pulls out a clay pot and a hunk of wood and begins stoking a fire under a small stone stove, balancing the pot on top. We'll shove all the stuff into the pot and let it boil down. I have some leftovers that can go in too, and we can have that with bread and cheese. Sound good to you? So, stew? What's that look for? I was expecting something a little fancier, if I'm honest. I was better fed at the inn. What do you want from me? If you don't like it, you're free to cook something for yourself. Sienna normally handles the food. I could tell. Don't look so down. She'll be awake tomorrow, don't worry. Why did you say it like you knew that she was gonna be awake tomorrow, The pot takes a while to simmer, but eventually it's ready. Despite his protests, Fern is won over by the aroma of the stew. He's handed a bowl and begins dipping his bread in to take a bite. Eska brings the pot onto the floor and they take a seat beside it. So about that woman at the market. That was quite the patch she had, huh? People work with mages rot. It's not a rare thing here. What's stopping you? Eska tenses at such a blunt statement. It's not just your sister, is it? So what if it's not? I'm asking you to fix her, not me. Explains that exchange you had in the mine too, now that I think about it. You can't work around Altalite if you catch it, and there isn't much other work out there right now. Happy? Where do you have it? A couple of patches on my back. Wow, really? I'm surprised you could carry me all the way here if that's the case. Impressive swing you had, knocking me out though. I bet that aggravated things a little. Would have been worth it if you could have done something about it. Take your shirt off. Excuse me? Just because I'm not a healer doesn't mean I can't do something for you. Let me take a look. As good as Fern says, removing both layers. Oh my god, okay. On his skin were inky patches spreading out from his shoulder and lower back, similar in color to the woman's arm from earlier. It doesn't look too far along, not bad. It hasn't progressed to the spine at all, so I should probably consider myself lucky. You don't seem... Oh my god! There they be looking at them! Woohoo! You don't seem overly concerned with having contracted it. Around here, if you get unlucky with an injury, you end up in my position. I'm not unique. My sister's further along anyways. I'll worry about myself later. He redresses himself. How much do you know about Altalite? It's a magic conductor, right? Ever since the outbreak, our town's economy has worked around it. Easy work since mages need so much. There's also all the usual Altalite warnings. Keep it away from magic unless you know what you're doing. I'm sure you've heard that a whole bunch. It's the first thing that they tell you at the guild, but lucky for you, I know what I'm doing. Well, I guess it depends on who you ask, but I certainly can make things happen. That sounds like a warning label ready to explode. Fern reaches into his bag and pulls out a mortar and pestle and a couple of jars, one empty, the other filled with a dark liquid. Taking a thin brush, he draws an intricate pattern on 2 chunks of crystal, the lines differing only in their direction. Ooh, fancy. Those are huge chunks, and that definitely filled up the jar a lot more, and now the jar is going to be so small now. Eska watches carefully. If you're careful, and I do mean careful, you can control the flow of magical energy. Fern holds the ends of both crystals, studying their position on the stone floor in front of him. The glow from underneath his clothes appear again. The crystal is in contact with his right hand explodes, sending chunks in all directions. Eska jumps back at the sudden noise. Can I explain what's going on with the glowing already? I don't need a lesson in magic basics. I want to know what's letting you do that. Weren't you paying attention? I just told you. It's simple energy control. That's it. Don't bullshit me. I've seen magic users work before, and they couldn't increase their strength or explode stuff. I'll take that as a compliment. Magic isn't a field that begins and ends with astrology and healing. Clearly. Well, I guess if you're interested. Oh, whoa. Whoa. Okay. Fern removes his coat and rolls up his sleeve, revealing a tapestry of markings running the entire length of his arm. Tattoos? Kinda. They're a little less permanent, just applied with a brush. The body contains a certain amount of magical energy, so I figured learning to better control the energy could be useful. I want to be able to experiment. At a certain point, you begin to run out of canvas space, so I think temporary is the way to go. So that's why those marks on your hands are. I don't know. It flows like in people too. News to me. How would a magical disease affect you if it didn't? God, this is why I hate the guild. It doesn't sustain itself by eating your flesh. You and your sister'd be dead much faster if that was the case. Anyways, point being, if there's a flow, it can be controlled. Oh, wow. Things are getting fancy now. If you don't mind volunteering a second canvas for me, I can figure out something that contains the disease to the affected areas. It's not a permanent solution, but I think I could probably slow the spread. Same for your sister, but I'd rather judge what I can do for her when she's awake. Because Eska's eyes widen the more Fern speaks. Volunteer? As in... I won't charge, but don't go hitting me over the head again if it doesn't work. I've always wanted to expand what I do, but finding willing participants is tricky. Probably doesn't help with the amount I keep to myself, but still. I appreciate you're willing to listen to me ramble on. You're welcome. I've never had a mage give me the time of day. Wow, big honk. I suppose I should get to preparing more of my medium. That's what we spend the day gathering? Yeah. That's not everything I use, but those were the main 2 ingredients I was missing. He gathers up chunks of exploded crystal and dumps them into the mortar to begin crushing into the pieces into smaller shards. You had like sugar crystal grain, so you could just use them. As Eska looks closer, he notices the base of the pestle is also covered in markings, as is the bolt of the mortar and the lids of the furnace jars. I cannot speak. Oh my gosh. Actually, now that I think about it, this is gonna be pretty hard. I haven't practiced on something who can control, on someone who can't control their own flow before. There's gonna take some work to figure out. And how difficult is that to learn? Fern laughs. That's like half a mage's curriculum right there. But I wouldn't worry about that. It's not an option for you. You writing me off for something? It's not called mage's rot because they caused it, you know. It's because it messes with magic users the most. If you try using magic when your body's infected, you transmit the infection as well. And if you circulate it through your body, well, you've done the rot job for it.
The first couple of mages who tried that found it the hard way. So how do healers manage it? I wish I knew. Another reason you should study healing magic. Maybe it'll help with all this tattoo stuff. I don't like how that started to sound like a good idea. You could have mentioned you were infected too. That would have saved me a lot of preaching. If you're not in a state to do it yourself, there goes my argument for you to self-study. Fern begins scribbling into his notebook. Eska watches a stern expression. I'm not yawning! From on Fern's face as he works. You look way different when you get into it. Look at you take this so seriously. Well, let me focus. Do you want to fix or not? I can pass my own energy through my markings no problem, but safely onto someone with magic rot? The disease complicates things. When I was at the guild, people just activated everything themselves. What's the problem? Just channel it. Do whatever you did to the crystals. Do you want what happened to the Altalite to happen to you? It's a more delicate process with a human body. I don't want you to explode. Just make a design that channels everything through touch. I don't think you know how difficult what you're asking me to do is. But I don't think you're too far off the mark either. This is certainly an interesting problem. Maybe there isn't so bad for my craft after all. This isn't so bad for my craft after all. Though I'd have to completely redo at least one of my sleeves. This sucks. Let's draw it on later, once you sorted this all out. I cannot talk, my gosh. The noise of grinding and glass clinking continues into the night. Eventually, Eska decides it's late enough. I'm going to bed. Fern doesn't look up from his work. Feel free. I'll sleep once I've solved this issue I'm having with the enchantment. Beep boop boop beep. Not wanting to put up with the noise, he heads down to the basement and into the comfort of his own bed. He looks over at Sienna. His sister remains as she was. Don't worry, sis. Just a little longer. I'll get this fixed tomorrow. I suppose enough's enough. Wake up, Eska. I'm gonna sort out your sister. Eska shoots up immediately. Wait, really? Yeah, I figured you'd want to see this. Fern reaches over and removes a necklace from around Sienna's neck, the one that she'd pilfered from him a few days earlier. She begins to stir, her eyes open, and she sits up, as if waking up from a nap. What are you still doing here? I told you before, we're not giving you your stuff back. Aww. Eska runs for sister to give her a big hug. She hugs back, very confused by his frantic affection. Huh? Eska, why is the magic user still here? Your brother, Eska, why is your magic user still here? I'm forgetting my accents. Your brother's so nice that I've decided to help. Oh, that's a change of tune from last time I saw you. How do you feel? What's that supposed to mean? I feel fine. Well, you were unconscious for about 3 days. Oh, so that's why I'm so hungry. Bro, please get off me. You're making it hard to breathe. He finally lets go, allowing her to move. Everyone's around in the same place, in front of the tavern wood thing. Sorry. There we go. Your sister's awake again. Isn't that great news? Eska snatches the necklace out of Fern's hand and examines it carefully, confused. Up close, he notices the fine engravings around the chain. An enchanted necklace? That was all? Ooh, most people don't catch that on the first look. Your sister sure didn't. Sure didn't. I'm right here, you know. So what this means is you could have fixed this at any time and you chose not to. I feel cheated. Over what? Lest I remind you, this happened as a result of your actions, not mine. Don't begrudge me for milking what I can out of an unfavorable situation. I could have just up and left while you weren't looking. Would you have preferred that? Fern collapses onto Eska's bed and burrows into the sheets. I was up all night, so I'm borrowing you this now that you're out of it. Your sister can move now, so she can leave if there's a problem. Fine. This is the first time I've seen you so hospitable, bro. Guess you must like him. I did all of this to make sure you were okay, and nothing else. Sure. A few days later. Fern takes a brush and dips it into the paint solution, wiping the excess off on the rim of the jar. He inspects the brush tip, then his notebook, and then the area around Eska's shoulder blade. Eska flinches at the surprise of the cool touch. He tenses, causing his back to twinge. He mutters under his breath, digging his nails into the palm of his hand. I'd advise keeping still if I were you. If I mess up, it can be painful. Wait, what? Did I forget to mention, magic runs through your nerves, you know? If I'm not precise, well, the sensation can last as long as the stain on the skin. One time, well, I'll maybe wait until afterwards to start sharing stories. Just relax. I mean, maybe share the story so I know what I'm getting myself into, and I won't become dumb and stupid and die. Maybe. I'll warn you when the brush is coming. An hour passes. Eska's time is split between being drawn on listening to the sounds of the pencil on paper. You done yet? That's sounding dangerously close to impatience, you know. Don't be impatient with a magic user. Magic is quite important and it takes time, you know. What's that saying about biting the hand that feeds you? It's on the tip of my tongue. Look, I get you might be nervous, but you're in the hands of the best of the craft, don't worry. If you're the only one who does it, you're also technically the worst. I guess I never thought of it that way. That is correct. Wow, that is so true. Stop talking. Your back moves when you do. More time passes. Okay, nearly done. Now that it should have stained, I'll just activate it with a little of my own energy, and Eska feels Fern's fingers touching the base of his shoulder blade and near the patch on his lower back. Out from that touch, he feels heat. He braces for the sensation to cause a spasm, but nothing else happens. Well, how's that feel? Hot. Or it was like that for a second. Good! I'll take that as a sign it worked. Feel anything now? No, nothing. Great, you're welcome. Try not to touch the areas for the rest of the day. It's waterproof, so you can bathe in a day once it's dry. Sun exposure will bleach it out though, so don't go taking your shirt off outside. I mean, sun exposure happens through IR radiation. I know the R in IR is radiation, but you know. Wait, no, infrared. Yeah, IR radiation. Well, that should do it for your leg. At least it'll stop things from getting worse. Quite a patch she's got there. It's impressive she can still walk. Any discomfort? It's a little numb, but it doesn't feel bad either. Interesting. Make sure to keep me updated. If you lose sensation in your leg, let me know. Sure. A smile creeps across Fern's face. He pulls out his notebook and begins scribbling down notes in graphite. Sienna peeks over, trying to make sense of the strange symbols, but there's nothing decipherable. She takes another look at the new lines on her skin, unable to make heads or tails of any of it. I wonder if the factor is age or gender. Maybe both. Maybe both. Wrong accent there. Fern's train of thought is interrupted by the sound of footsteps. You finished yet? Just did. Sienna walks across the room, even doing a little spin on her inked leg. There's no sign of the limp that previously plagued her. I don't feel it much. I don't feel it much. I'm impressed. Good job, bro. You found someone competent. Thanks. Well, thanks for seeing me off. I should probably get going. Though I was considering the possibility of moving down here. Eska doesn't do a very good job of masking his surprise. Really? You like it here that much? Now that I have the two of you to keep an eye on, the constant trips down here would be impractical. It'd be once every month or so at least. I'd rather have my test subjects somewhere I can monitor them. The logistics I still need to work out though. If the local guard doesn't have a problem with it, I'll see who's interested in my refined technique. Care to point me in the direction of those around here who still have money? Surely some of them would be interested in having their rot slowed. Sounds like you want to rely on my know-how even more. I figured it's only fair that if you want me to study healing magic, you should help me make money in the meantime. Really? In that case, I should be able to find someone who's interested. I'll do my best too. I'm fond of my new canvas. It would be a shame if you died on me. And also Sienna, she's your canvas too. I need to look for a new place as well. Make sure to find somewhere with enough space for a workstation, okay? I'll see what I can do. What? You're just gonna do that for me? I'm surprised. No jokes, no eye rolling, lamenting the possibility of having me around it any longer? You're serious about studying healing magic, right? If it's what I have to do, it's what I have to do. It might take some trial and error though. I have some material available for my days at the guild, but it's not a ton. I'll figure something out along the way, as long as you don't mind continuing as my guinea pig. The second you know it'll work, Sienna better be top priority. And you're more useful to me than she is.
It is a hug! Oh my god, oh, it is Huggy Wuggy!
Eska grabs Fern and pulls him in for a hug, catching him off guard. Hey, what's this for? Don't get any weird ideas. I just don't want to look for more test subjects. Thank you. Sure. Yeah. I mean it. Thank me once I've figured some healing out, not before. Cena wasn't kidding. You do hug hard. Bear hug. Eska lets Fern go. By the time you're back, I should be all set up working at the mine. You won't have any issues. My markings will do their job, I promise. If you say so. If anything starts hurting, I'm dragging you in to explain this to my boss. A little more faith would be appreciated. I'll be back with some materials in a couple of days. It's fine to store my things in the basement, right? You sure you don't want help transporting everything? I'll just hire a cart if there's too much. I can take it from here. Bye. Go and sort out things with the mine. You have money to save up. You don't have to follow me all the way out either. If you say so. Game end. That was fun! A little D&Ding was so fun. Also, the game page light again. I mean, not again. There was another page like from a couple of VN novels down that I played that had like, what, 15 or 30 minutes, and it was like an hour and a half or something. But this was so fun. Oh, it was the dragon one. The dragon one. They hadn't updated the time to play. It was like 3 hours long, and that was fun too. I'll check that out as well. The final Dragon's Flight, or Last Dragon's Flight, can't quite remember, but that was really fun. And this is itching my D&D crazy, which is getting more and more. So I might be I'll try and find more of these if you enjoy them. The story was really cute with all the things happening, and I feel like there could be more as well, but also like how it's contained into its own thing. It could be so huge with all like the world building that's happening with the Altalite, with everything like that. And there could be more, and I loved it. The characters are very personality driven. There's so much happening. I love the colors, the music, the art, and everything. And there are more games by this developers, so I'll be checking those out. So subscribe if you want to see more. And that's about it. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.